Hello BGFH, we're back, and for level 3, or this third level of the Parish campaign in Left 4 Dead 2. And let's check our safe room, see what kind of... Ooh, there we go, combat shotgun, I'll take that, thank you very much. What other goodies do we got in here? Anything worthwhile? No. Maybe some ammo. Ooh. Grab that. Alright, and away we go. This level is where things start to get really interesting. Things can go horribly wrong. There's a choke point in here that was really surprising the first time I encountered it. What we're gonna eventually encounter, we're gonna go through part of this town and we're gonna head down into the sewer for a minute, and then when we head back up we'll talk about that little wonderful surprise when we get there. But yeah, there's a area in this level that just can make things go completely wrong, and I hope to God I don't screw it up. So it's just, I really hate seeing, let alone people who are just, not familiar with blindness or people with vision impairments. It's sad to see that people still have some of those opinions of, well, look at, blind people, you can't do that, or they just don't know really that we're capable. It's like, well, yeah, well, maybe you can do it, but you'll need all this extra help, or you'll be 10 times slower than everybody else. But what really gets me is when I see an actual blindness organization using that kind of pandering or that kind of advertising just to get funds. I mean, I understand, yes, you do good work, you do want to get funds, I understand that, but is it really necessary to basically sell out your customer base for that, your clientele for that? Because essentially what you're saying is, well, yeah, blind people, yes, that blind people are, really worse off, and yeah, being blind can be hard. There's definitely times where I find it super annoying. But what you're saying is that, yes, but without, without us, blind people would just be content, or would just have to sit at home and do nothing. They can't talk to their friends, they can't play, if they're a little kid, they can't play with their friends. And that's crap. I mean, I went to a mainstream, like I said in earlier videos, I went to mainstream school. I played with friends. I went over to friends' houses. They came over to my place. And there are times where I could probably... I knew there was a tank coming. I thought I heard one. Here we go. Where the hell are you? Oh, good God. Okay, let's take care of this tank here before we get too much further into... Yeah, for once, don't chase me. That's awesome. Oh, really? You're gonna fight him too? Go away, tank. Thank you.
Is it for you? Oh, I'm fine.
Okay, so, yeah, I mean, I did all the things. I mean, I could tell stories about, like I said, I grew up on a farm, and I did pretty much everything, a fully sighted kid would have done. And like I said, I should be, all the crap I actually got away with, and actually some of the stuff we used to do on the farm as kids, I'm frankly lucky to be alive today. Some of the crap that we used to do and we actually survived, like I said, either I'm part cat or something, because yeah, let's just say I didn't let that stop me one bit. But for a blindness organization to say that kind of thing and to really propagate that message out there, I really find that to be pretty insulting. And that's really, I guess, all I'll say about the video itself, because, like I said, a lot of you guys probably have not seen that video yet, so I don't really want to talk about that too much here. I'll tie that more into my blog. I'm just checking to see if there's any axes or anything like that, or if I'll stick with the machete here. But I do really still find it interesting because when I worked at my last job, just as I was sort of leaving, and I'm not going to name the company or anything like that. I mean, they do some great work there. I really enjoyed working there. But one of the things that would happen is
What the
they
hell is
were
going on here?
they were kind of looking into ideas for, and a lot of other places have done this too, where you get this statistic that, well, blind people are either unemployed, drastically unemployed, or underemployed. Underemployed meaning that, okay, maybe they have a job, but somebody has just gotten them a job where okay, the blind person, let's say they're pretty smart, but they are sorting clothes or just kind of some kind of menial task that I mean, for people who maybe if they have a really severe learning disability or mental problem or whatever, where they can't go beyond that, that's great that they're able to still get out and work. I have no problem with that whatsoever. But just kind of going for, well, they're blind, and so we gotta get them something, but not much, or nothing too intense or whatever. That's not quite right either, because like these sheltered workshops where let's say they'll put bags of they'll sort nuts and bolts, or they'll put like packages together with I don't know, let's say packages of silverware together, or putting whatever it happens to be, some little thing like that. And for people who, like I said, who can't do some of those things, who can't hold down a more intense job, I'm glad that's there for them, because they should definitely be able to be a productive member of society as well. Oh, good God. Where is she? Oh, there. Oh, God, would you walk away? Okay, lights off. Yeah, okay, you guys, if you go ahead and piss her off, because I'm not going to do it. Yeah, don't shoot her. She would have walked out here and you could have walked by her. You dumb idiot. That was really dumb, you guys. I think she probably might have walked by us if you would have just left her alone. I hear a boomer. Oh, it still got me. Damn it. Alright, fine. Where's the horde gonna come? Forward or backward? Can't see. I was gonna see what kind of weapons were on the floor there. Okay. Don't want it. And don't want it. So, okay, we'll continue. But, too many people are getting just these lower jobs, and they're not really getting out of it. And I see so much potential wasted. I've seen so many blind people that have just, well, this is the job they've got me, and or I'm just kind of doing this a little bit to get by. And believe me, there was a time where I was unemployed for a while, and I would have taken anything just to get a job and get some income. The joke or half joke was that I would go work at McDonald's if it meant me getting a job for a while until I could find something, in my degree or in technical, but just to get some income. But the problem is McDonald's probably wouldn't hire me either, because I couldn't read everything is pictures. There's no words on their little cash registers anymore. So if you can't see them, well, you might be out of luck there too. Oh, there we go. And so I just think that too many people are, they're a lot smarter than I think some people give them credit for, and they're really underemployed. And people don't think that they can do a lot. Like I was talking about when I was talking about like loving to read. I forget what video it was in, but when I was doing one of these playthroughs, I was talking about how oh God, oh, get away. I was talking about like how I like to read, and people thought, well, maybe you don't have a learning disability, or you're not just lazy. you really just didn't have the means. You didn't have an accessible. You didn't have a great way to read that material. And once you started getting books in Braille, books on tape, um, yeah, obviously you did a lot better. Now I'm going to pause this story right here because this particular area of the level is where I was talking about where things go really, really bad, or can go really bad. And thankfully, I think I have a med kit, and I think I have some adrenaline. I'm hoping I'm okay. What we've got here is we've got a whole big old like junkyard or car yard, and it just so happens that pretty much all of these cars have frickin' alarms. I'm gonna jump over this car, and so I really don't want to use a gun here, because if I accidentally hit a car, all hell is gonna break loose. So I wanna I wanna stay away from these cars as much as possible. And yes, I remembered how to do it. There's one car that you can jump on to get. Okay, now. Okay, good. So there's one car that you kind of almost have to jump on to get through there, and I was kind of worried that I still might set something off, but it's kind of a chain reaction, because then if you do set one of those car alarms off, then you get hoarded, and then other guys, they'll start shooting, and they'll set another car alarm off, and then by pretty soon you're just getting mobbed by just so many guys. It's ridiculous. Yep, kill the charger. Excellent. So, as long as things don't go...
Hey, we're gonna make it out of here.
Oh god, you know what? Before we go any further, I am gonna heal. Oh shit, I don't have... Guys, anybody got a med kit of any kind? Anybody? Can you guys heal me at all? Oh, apparently not. I just looked at my health and looked how crappy it was. You know, I might use my adrenaline. Yep, there's dudes coming. I'm gonna use some adrenaline and hope to God, please let there be... Yes! I'm gonna use my adrenaline to fast heal. And we are back in the game. Awesome. And yes, we are good. I forgot there was an ambulance up here, so thank God for that. I was thinking that I'd get through this whole car part and then I would be screwed up by something up here. So hopefully we can last and get to the save point, and I won't have to.
I guess we're gonna have to visit that graveyard.
Hopefully I won't have to redo this. So, like I said, I was talking about the whole unemployed, underemployed thing, and there are so many people that are just kind of, happy to just get what they can, or other people encourage them to just not, it's like, well, you can do this, or, well, you don't want to go do this because, you shouldn't move too far away from home, and, how can this blind person function on their own, or, if, yeah, you maybe can, but if things go a little wrong, no one will be there to bail you out. And to some extent, yeah, that might be true, but I don't like that there's so many things that still, too many people still have that kind of opinion of what blind people can and cannot do. Applying for jobs, for one. Like I said, after I graduated college, got my undergrad degree, I was unemployed for about 2.5 years. Oh, where? Where? I don't see it. See, that's where things kind of blend in, and the outlines really help. But, oh, here we go. Sweetness. Let's see, I don't have a chuckable, so I'll take that. Awesome. So if that, I didn't even mention that earlier, but, in addition to having that little silhouette or that little outline around everything, I love when, if you are near something, a lot of times either your character or one of your teammates will call out, hey, we got weapons over here, or hey, we got a pipe bomb, or hey, we got a shot, whatever. So they will kind of draw your attention to that, and with the audio, and I really appreciate that. It's just these little usability things that really add so much to the game and just make it a lot easier to play, especially if you know, like I said, I'm visually impaired and I just don't see some of those things. I overlook little things in the environment, so I love those little stuff like that. But I was unemployed for like 2.5 years, and you know, it wasn't for lack of applying. I mean, I applied for, I'm going to take that pipe bomb. It wasn't for lack of applying. I applied for jobs constantly. I would apply for several jobs a week. And what a lot of people also don't realize is that if you are looking for a job, looking for and applying for jobs and writing your cover letters and keeping your resumes updated and everything like that, tweaked for different jobs, searching for a job is almost at least a part-time, if not can be a full-time job in itself. So I mean, I worked on it usually several hours a day, especially during the week when people would generally post stuff. And like I said, and it wasn't for lack of getting interviews, because I applied for jobs. I got many phone interviews. I got many in-person interviews. Hell, I had a couple companies actually fly me out to where they were. You know, I was in the Midwest and I got flown down to Florida. I got flown down to Washington State for a job. So after doing that, I thought, you know, I would get these interviews, and I would think the interview would go great. You know, I had a good time. I liked the organizations, or like the companies that I went to apply for. The interview really seemed to go well, but I would just never get the job, and I really didn't know what it was. And so I even went back to my college and I said, you know, well, hey, let's take a look at this. Can I do some mock interviews? I want to see if, you know, you guys, you know, conduct a interview with me and tell me if I'm doing something horribly wrong. Is there something I'm not saying correctly, or am I giving the wrong impression for something, or, you know, what is it? And I did, you know, a couple mock interviews just to see, and they told me that they gave me some tips for it, obviously, for interviewing, gave me some tips that I took to heart, but they said no, my interviewing skills were actually very good. And so it really maybe wasn't even that. And I know when I was applying for jobs that I did get, there were a couple jobs where, you know, the companies, they really couldn't say it legally, but you could tell they were like, well, you know, they'll make up a different excuse or whatever, but you could tell just, you know, once you started talking about, you know, yes, I am legally blind and I do use some assistive technology, you know, I use JAWS, I use Kurzweil, or whatever it happens to be. Even though, like, what I would also do is I would bring a laptop with the software and have, you know, Word on it. If they had internet, I could connect to the internet. Get away, smoker! And I would, okay, we'll hold that story for the start of the next video. We'll continue on there. And thankfully this level didn't go too badly. I didn't get completely murdered in the car area. So we'll see you guys in the next video.